Hey guys, welcome to CryptoCoach365, day 121. Mike Tozoni here. So more progress on the plane so far. When we laid down all the fiberglass sheets yesterday, we basically soaked them through with epoxy. Today we basically had to sand all of that down because the fiberglass has kind of frills all down the edges. And when they get covered up with epoxy, before the epoxy, they're nice and soft and flexible. It's almost like fabric. After epoxy, they're very, very sharp and very stiff. So I actually ended up cutting myself on the side kind of hard. But we were actually, both myself and my spouse are kind of cut up because of it. But we had to sand down all those edges of the fiberglass that were glued on. So when you sand it down, it actually is pretty nice and smooth. Then we had to spackle, I guess you could call it spackle, the wings. So we attached the wings. They are made entirely, well, they're blue styrofoam core on the inside with fiberglass wrapped around it. But fiberglass is not very smooth. So what we needed to do was we take this, they call them micro bubbles. It's basically a very, very fine blown glass bubbles, like the consistency. If you've ever dealt with printer toner, like laser ink toner ink, it's about that size. It's the bubbles are so fine of a dust that when you dump it into a kind of a cup or something, it almost acts like liquid. It's dust, but you can kind of swirl around like it's a liquid. You can pour it like it's a liquid, but it's just dust. And that stuff gets mixed up with more epoxy, slightly different, easier to grind and sand epoxy, and it comes out looking very much like I guess whipped cream, Cool Whip, and that stuff you smear on the wings, which creates a very soft, well, not soft, softer, white, very light layer. Because I think those bubbles might even be, the glass bubbles might even be hollow, because the whole thing comes out really, really light. But that gets smeared all over the wing, excuse me, and then once it dries out, once it'll dry out tomorrow, then we should go over and have to sand it all down to give the wing its shape and make it nice and smooth. Because as I mentioned, the fiberglass is not very smooth, and also the places where there's a centerpiece going through the entire wing to give it strength, so the parts where the fiberglass comes together, there's like a divot on one side and on the other side, so that needs to be leveled out, and it needs to be meshed up with the place where the wings actually attach, the strakes, that's it. The wings have to be mashed up with the strakes where they're attached to the body, so that it's a nice even attachment. When we put the wings on, you can actually see in my prior video I posted up on Facebook that it doesn't actually match up well. Like the wing comes in, and then kind of a little further out the strakes come out, so all of that gets smoothed out together, so it's a nice even body. So that's what we've been doing, just spackling up the wings, and that's it. In the world of crypto, there's been some news about a bug that came out. It's kind of well, it's a terrible oversight for the bug, because it was introduced about over a year ago, and nobody really noticed it. And one of the Bitcoin Cash developers actually noticed it and told Bitcoin developers about it. And it is a serious bug in that it can really do damage. Like it can split the network temporarily. It could like creating a hard fork until there's a settled on one side or the other. But really, it's like Bitcoin is supported, is protected more than supported by this game theory, where if you try to screw with Bitcoin by creating such a fork, you will probably end up wasting resources and getting hurt in the long run anyway. Because, for example, if somebody were to mine this bug and create more Bitcoins than they were supposed to, for a while Bitcoin networks nodes don't really know which chain to go to. But eventually, obviously, everybody's going to settle on the correct one that has the correct amount of Bitcoins in there, and the other chain will just break off and probably be completely discarded, and everybody who actually mined the Bitcoins on that chain will pretty much lose every single day of mine. Like their coins won't be worth anything while they wasted a lot of electricity on mining nothing. So yeah, it's a critical, serious bug. People definitely should upgrade if they are running nodes. But like I said, it's even in Bitcoin, there's two things that secure it. The software itself, the code, but also the game theory, where people don't want to screw with things because they'll be screwing with their own livelihood. So anyway, done for today. Gonna have some food, and tomorrow is the last day in Florida. I should finish up on a plane, hopefully. Well, we'll see what happens. But anyway, for now I'm gonna head out. See you tomorrow. Bye.